3 bedrooms, 1 level with a great meadow view and gorgeous Saddle Lake Farms. Colleen and David Black, Keller Williams Realty. Call on Colleen.
I'm James Spann. This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday morning, the 9th of November. A late season tropical system will bring a wet down to the state late tonight and tomorrow, but it's going to be a quick system for us, and the rest of the week looks dry, and really beyond that, things look pretty quiet. Let's go right to the Skycam shots around the network this morning. First off, coming from Gadsden in Etowah County, the sky mostly fair. Temperatures this morning are mostly in the 50s. Nice look there at the campus of Auburn University down in Lee County. And this camera will be interesting to watch over the next 24 hours. This is Gulf Shore Skycam on top of the Phoenix All Suites. We're looking back off to the west. And there's the big picture this morning. Ida, little late-season tropical storm moving rapidly northward. It'll be really interesting to see what happens with this over the next 24 hours. It is now a hurricane, but it will weaken very rapidly later today and tonight as it becomes over cool water and harsh winds aloft, but it will serve to bring some pretty good rain to parts of the Gulf Coast region and gusty winds as well. The prime polar jet is way up north, so no cold air involved for a while. QPF chart. Now, I think this is a little overdone here. This is valid through Friday evening, and this is showing rain amounts of 4 to 5 inches over the Tennessee Valley with, and again, with this tropical system involved, it is weakening, becoming a hybrid. Probably more questions than answers on rain, but I think the heavier totals will be on the coast where they could see some 3 and 4 inch amounts down there, but the farther north you go, the lighter the amounts. And for the Tennessee Valley, where they've got 5 inches, I'm not convinced they see 1 inch up there. But again, it's always difficult when these things are going through the transformation. There's a look at Ida this morning. As of this moment, it is technically a hurricane with top winds of 90 miles per hour, but it looks like it is going through the change now, and that thing will be weakening rapidly with time. And the main impact will be to bring a lot of rain to the Gulf Coast, and breezy conditions might be enough to knock down a few trees on the immediate coastline. Here's a look at the Mobile radar at 4:57 this morning, and you can see the leading rain shield from Ida just showing up offshore. Also some rain off to the west. That's a separate system over there. Now that's a hybrid that came out of the northwestern Gulf. Look at the modeling, and you can see that the models are in pretty decent agreement, most of them bringing up to about Pensacola and then a radical turn to the east. And many of them bring it back off into the Atlantic. And where that east turn occurs and how quickly and what form will this thing be in, making a specific rainfall forecast is pretty tough, but you can see why you figure the heaviest rain amount should be down over the far southern part of the state. Intensities, there's a look at the drop-off, like falling off a cliff, going from this 80-knot hurricane down to a tropical depression as it moves over the cooler water. In fact, there's a look at the SSTs in the Gulf, and you can see that warm patch down around the Yucatan Channel. That's where this thing exploded rapidly yesterday, which it should have, with light winds aloft and very warm water that has been totally untouched all season. But look at the colors fade to blue up there at the Gulf Coast. And winds aloft are getting harsh. Again, notice the minimum wind shear down there over where this thing was born, the Western Caribbean. And then all of a sudden you get up to this 40 and 50 knot shear near the Gulf Coast. So the cool water and the shear will tear this thing up in a heartbeat, but still it will be pretty inclement weather, needless to say. There's the track. The Hurricane Center guys bring this in around Pensacola tonight after midnight, between midnight and 6 o'clock, and then they've got it late tomorrow night sitting around Dothan. Of course, it's just going to be a big bag of rain at this point. And no doubt we're going to get a wet down. Let's take a look at modeling here. This is the 06E GFS at noon today. Upper air, the core polar jet is to the north and down below. Ida coming up from the south. Seems like the GFS is too slow with this thing. It's really ahead of where the model is suggesting. So that rain shield should be up into the Gulf Coast by midday today. Tomorrow, the GFS has the rain max with this thing pretty much right over us, while conditions radically improve down south in the Gulf Coast. And no doubt tomorrow is going to be a wet day. Wind should not be a big problem. We figure winds will be in the 10 to 20 mile per hour bracket out of the east. shouldn't be enough to cause any issues. And the good news, because we've had this good 9-day dry spell, flash flood guidance is way high, so don't expect any flooding problems. So just a breezy, soaking type rain tomorrow. And then Wednesday, the upper air westerlies pick this thing up and move it well to the east. We dry out. The sky becomes mostly sunny. And Thursday, another type of hybrid develops off the Atlantic coast, and we've seen all kind of looks on this. We've seen some really nasty nor'easters developing for our friends on the Atlantic seaboard that could produce a lot more problems than this thing will on the Gulf Coast. This one doesn't really show that. But again, Thursday here should be a beautiful day. Friday looks great. Fabulous day. Cool morning, mild afternoon. What about the weekend ahead? There's a look at Saturday. Looks very nice. Shortwave passing north of us. Down below that, we're dry. And then Sunday, that shortwave is digging through the Great Lakes pretty far north. That's going to swing a cold front through here. But by golly, the GFS has indicated there's not enough moisture for rain with that front. So maybe a few scattered clouds on Sunday. But for the moment, it looks like we stay dry. And Monday of next week, a new surge of cool, dry air drops in here. So after this rain event tomorrow, another nice extended stretch of dry weather. And it just seems to be the year of opposites, where typically in October we have these long dry spells. This time we're getting them in November, which nobody's arguing with. In the end of the forecast, this is the 24th of November, out there toward Thanksgiving. Boy, no sign of any cold air with that. The polar jet is way up north in Canada. Big upper low out west, and that looks a little mild and showery, but certainly no intrusion of cold air if that happens to be right. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And, of course, if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening. ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.